Laika's Gnanam Foundation, founded in December 2010 with a noble objective of supporting the marginalized people around the globe in achieving a sustainable means of livelihood. The foundation has committed already over 3,000 million Sri Lankan rupees for various projects elsewhere in the world, including Sri Lanka. The motto of Laika's Gnanam Foundation is, "Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime." Laika's Gnanam Foundation is an independent charity organization solely funded by Laika Mobile. Being just 4 years old, it has already committed a mammoth 2,785 million Sri Lankan rupees for identified charitable projects in war-ravaged Sri Lanka alone.
பெற்றாரை இழந்த பிள்ளைகள் வாழ்ந்து வருகின்றனர். அவர்களுள் நாங்கள் 100 பிள்ளைகளை எங்களுடைய நிறுவனம் தெரிவு செய்து அவர்களுக்கு மாதாந்த கல்விக்கான உதவி திட்டங்களை நாங்கள் வழங்கி வருகின்றோம். இந்த திட்டத்திற்கான முழு நிதியையும் எங்களுக்கு யுகேயில் உள்ள ஞானம் நிறுவனம் வழங்கி வருகின்றது. இந்த நிதியை வழங்குகின்ற ஞானம் ஃபவுண்டேஷனுக்கு எங்களுடைய நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன்.
எந்தவித பிரச்சனையும் இல்லாமல் சந்தோஷமாக எனது கல்வியை தொடங்குகின்றேன். ஞான நிறுவனத்துக்கு நான் மிகவும் நன்றியை வணங்குகின்றேன்.
In some areas, it carries out its own ambitious projects, while in several other projects, it fully funds charity organizations such as Sivan Arul Illam, aiming to achieve its objective of providing a sustainable means of livelihood and educational support to those who have been badly affected by the war. Some of the other countries where Laika's Gnanam Foundation has stretched its helping hands in terms of charitable donations are India, Nigeria, Sudan, and Tanzania.
ஞானம் நிறுவனம் உதவியால் நான் நன்றாக படித்து வருகின்றேன்.
Hello, my name is Chris Tooley. I'm the Chief Executive of Laika Mobile, which is the world's largest international MVNO provider of international calls worldwide. As part of our social and corporate responsibility, we're involved in a number of charitable initiatives worldwide. One of the ones we're most proud of is the Gnanam Foundation, which, as you know, is principally involved in giving support to families and people in Sri Lanka, especially in the northern part of Sri Lanka, badly affected by the recently ended civil war. Gnanam Foundation is very close to our hearts, but it's a foundation which is not just purely about charitable giving, but helps people to help themselves. We have a philosophy that if you feed a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him to fish, you feed him for life. Therefore, as a business ourselves and founded on highly entrepreneurial principles, we're looking to help fund people who want to start not necessarily big businesses, but small businesses that we hope can thrive within the environment of the new Sri Lanka. These businesses, to be successful, it needs people who are motivated, who feel they can be aided, and who want to fend for themselves and not rely on state aid alone for their sustenance and for their livelihood. And these are the very people that the Gnanam Foundation seeks to help, and we're delighted to be involved. So whether your business is setting up a small shop, whether it's a fishing business, whether it's a communication business even, then we're here to help you with small donations that we hope will significantly aid you to become independent and successful in the new Sri Lanka. We wish you the very best of luck, and we're delighted to be involved, and I look forward to seeing you, many of you myself, in the not too distant future.
During the first phase, which is still an ongoing process, Laika's Gnanam Foundation has already committed 589 million rupees to numerous projects that are already underway. An educational support project for 655 children in the region of Vanni, 100 families' livelihood support for unprivileged families, educational support for 100 university students, plastic surgery missions to correct some of the injured civilians from the war, and the building of 100 wells in the Vanni region are just some of the projects that are currently and successfully underway. Our mobile MVNO operation was launched 8 years ago and has grown rapidly into a 17-market, 30 million customer business, together with other group interests in media, calling card, property, financial services and travel. It was with great charitable intent, therefore, that our chairman, Mr. Subhash Saliraja, and his mother founded the Gnanam Foundation in 2010. £15 million has been committed already, solely from funds generated by the Leica Group, into a range of projects, from medical support, surgical assistance, transportation, and the provision of equipment to help families live a self-sustaining lifestyle. We look forward to the Gnanam Foundation being at the forefront of the future of the Leica Group.
The key objective of this educational support project is to provide assistance to the vulnerable children and improve their school attendance, and provide livelihood income generation assistance to their poverty-driven families. The most vulnerable children living below the poverty line and who are facing difficulties to meet their basic daily needs, and children who are deprived of their basic right to obtain equitable education are meticulously identified for these projects. Reduction of poverty, increasing nutrition levels, promotion of humanitarian values, and improved knowledge on health-related issues are some of the areas selected for the integration of these project activities. Additionally, we have been funding boarding school places in Ganaratnam Madhya Mahavidyalayam school situated in Jaffna. We have been providing the school for 100 children. This is a school that specializes in gifted children, ensuring that they are given appropriate training in order to progress to the best higher level institution with the great potential that they possess. In addition, we are providing underprivileged families livelihood assistance in the form of distributing fishing nets, agricultural equipment, and computers. It is important to us that these families are self-sustaining after the initial assistance that we are providing. Our aim is that each family that we are assisting have the skills and the equipment in order to support their families long-term. Transportation projects, cultural program support, medical supplies, renovation of the places of religious importance, artificial limbs fitting project, Trishaw three-wheeler and tractor projects are some of the projects that are already kicked off and successfully on track.
Hello, I'm Gnanam Namasivayam. I'm representing a UK-based and Sri Lankan-based charity known as Sivanarolilam. Also has a name of tsunami rehabilitation under which it's registered in UK. We started this charity in 2005, April, as a family, and since then it has rapidly expanded, involved in many projects such as running an orphanage for 150 children in Tirukeswara Manor, running a vocational training and product food processing center in Kalinochi for 50 post-conflict widows and disabled, and a bakery in Pudukkurirupu Mullatthivu, again for disabled, vulnerable people. We had the privilege of getting a lot of help, financial support from Gnanam Foundation for the last 4 to 4.5 years, starting with limb fitting program. They have funded for well over 80 to 100 amputees from post-conflict amputees, and each limb cost around £125, so they have contributed significantly towards limb fitting. And livelihood program, which we started now 4.5-5 years ago. They started off by helping 50 families, affected families who are widows, disabled, blind, and many other vulnerable people, to start off small businesses. And there were particularly about 14 people who were severely disabled and paraplegic due to spinal injury. They donated about 14 auto rickshaw or three-wheelers, and all of them are now happily settled in their life, having a job to support their family, even though they are badly affected and disabled. And then from there onwards, this was about 4 years ago when we got the help from them initially, and from there onwards they have helped us significantly in many other projects. There was another one, Iniyaval Illam in Viswamadu, a school for blind and deaf and dumb children. They donated an auto for their personal use and many other needs, for initial needs for the institution to be started from the scratch. And recently they have contributed towards 100 university students to be educated by supporting them for their education. This is all over in the north, mainly Kilinochchi, Mullaitivu, Mannar, Batiklo. All districts are covered unbiasedly, mainly to support the poor students who have struggled and managed to seek admission to university, which is remarkable. So Gnanam Foundation is supporting for their education, and then they are supporting 70 vulnerable children who are extremely poor, living below poverty level, and most of them have lost both their parents and now living with their guardians. So we have got admission to good hostels in Batiklo, Kalmune, Kanaratnama Vidyalaya, also known as Stanley College in Jaffna, Kilinochchi Central College. So these children have a better future because they are going to have a good education with the support given by Gnanam Foundation. When they leave school, we are fairly certain that they will also enter university. Then we have 585 children, which for the last 1.5 years Gnanam Foundation have been contributing over 1.5 million rupees per month just for these children to have a better future. How we run this program is we have several field officers in various districts, as I mentioned earlier, for Vani district, for Jaffna, Mannar, Batiklo. Our field officers who work for Sivanarul Illam gather the information, very carefully selected children from the age of 6 to 18. So we put them in different groups and we go to their local school, testify that they are all genuine, and most of them who have lost their parents living with their guardian are the ones who come into this children education program. And every month the children, depending on their age and class, academic year, they are given from 1,000 to 1,500 rupees per month, and the older they are, they get more, like rupees 2,000 to 2,500. O-level children get 3,000 rupees and A-level children get 4,000 rupees per month. This is mainly to cover their education needs, to buy shoes, uniform, stationery, books, etc. And they then have to give us a feedback. The school and the field officers have to give us a feedback to assess their progress, failing which we will take them off from our list. So this program is going on very effectively, and we can already see a significant progress in the children's education level. There is also a tuition center run in Jaffna, very effectively run. Out of the 585, about 110 children are in Kondaville in Jaffna in a tuition center. They have every Saturday, Sunday very rigorously trained in all core subjects, including math, science, English, etc. So this program, without the help of Gnanam Foundation, we would have not achieved so many vulnerable people who are being helped, and we hope to see the end result years to come. So we really thank Gnanam Foundation to continue to work with us with the Sivanarul Illam, and we hope to see many vulnerable people benefiting from this support. Thank you very much.
Having successfully completed its first phase of needy charitable projects, Laika's Gnanam Foundation is now set to embark on the second phase on various ambitious projects. The second phase includes a new project titled Education and Livelihood Support for the Vulnerable Communities, aiming to bring up not less than 10,000 needy children and 660 families each year. Accordingly, 55 families from 11 districts will be identified and will be given up to 100,000 rupees worth of livelihood support to ensure that they generate sustainable income to try and eradicate poverty at home. Even 5 years after the end of the war, people in the north and east with very high expectation remain looking for assistance from the government and donor communities to ensure the future generation is developed with stability and dignity. As the anticipated assistance was not forthcoming for the past 5 years, and the living conditions in these former war zones continue to remain the same or getting worse with increased poverty, the communities in the north and east, especially the younger generation and children, continue to face many socio-economic issues without any answers. Internal migration to other parts of the island with many risks associated, illegal migration voluntarily and forcibly by parents, increase in child labor, and other forms of abuses are some of the issues that are currently affecting the development and integration of this younger generation. It is under these agonizing conditions that Laika's Gnanam Foundation is continuing to pledge no less than 2,640 million rupees. The project activities and distribution of inputs are planned to support children and parents directly and improve their day-to-day living conditions to ensure a drastic reduction in school absenteeism and dropouts, improve physical and psychosocial capacities, improve teacher-student coordination, access to resources, and feel happy and continue to contribute for social development activities in these target locations. The geographical locations selected for project implementation are Ampara, Anuradhapura, Patikulo, Jaffna, Kilinochchi, Mullaitivu, Mennar, Puttalam, Polanaruwa, Trincomalee, and Vavuniya districts. These locations will be grouped as clusters for easy project implementation purposes. Accordingly, Jaffna, Kilinochchi, Mullaitivu districts will come under Cluster 1, and Ampara, Patikulo, Trincomalee, Polanaruwa districts will come under Cluster 2, while Mennar, Puttalam, Vavuniya, Anuradhapura districts will come under Cluster 3. A 40-member team with 8 officers will be joining for the smooth implementation of these projects, likely to be launched during the first week of June this year. The second phase will also comprise a project relating to meet the undying demands for special needs, such as holding regular medical camps, providing counseling to deal with conflict-related anxiety and depression, and organizing English and Tamil tuition classes. Laika's Gnanam Foundation, solely funded by Laika Mobile, has unreservedly decided to help the communities indefinitely, as it is committed to help and promote the marginalized communities.